A question I frequently get in therapy when couples come in and there's been infidelity is, Mary Jo, do you think we'll be able to salvage our marriage? Or is a divorce inevitable for us because we can never restore the trust? Well, that's a loaded question. I personally have seen so many couples restore their marriage after infidelity, and not only restore it, but what I consider and they consider made it better with more open communication, more honesty, and more trust. They actually had better grounding, they built better boundaries, and they were able to make it. However, a third of all couples who have infidelity do not make it. They basically have been violated. They've been, hurt so badly with the betrayal of trust that they just can't get over what happened. And instead of pulling together, they pull apart and the relationship is destroyed. Marriage research has come up with ideas, with actual things that couples who make it do. And those things predict whether or not the couple can reignite their marriage, redo their marriage in a sense, and move forward in a more constructive and healthy ways. I have those things listed on this video, and I really want to encourage you that if you find out your partner betrayed you, had infidelity, had an affair, I really encourage you, before you do anything, to breathe, to find a sacred space where you don't react, and to enlist in therapy. Go today, call someone today, get started. Because if you have a therapist, that's going to help you with everything else, because these actions are important to do. But unless you have someone leading you, there will be days you're confused, you're angry, you think you trust them again, and then it all blows up, and you don't want to move forward a step and move backwards 5 steps. So here is the list. Number 1, the cheating has to stop. That means that if the person is still seeing the person they had the affair with, it has to stop. Everything you do, you need to do now to align with the marriage. And that means you have to clear out all social media platforms. You may have to get a new phone. You have to get a new number. Your new social media platforms have to include both of you. You basically cannot message anymore. You have to share. Your partner has your passwords. They can see everything. And if you feel violated now because there's no privacy, well, you know what? That's a consequence of cheating. And because you made a bad mistake with cheating, then you are going to have to take the consequence that you're willing to do whatever you can to save the marriage. And this is the kind of motivation and commitment it takes to make it work. Number 2, honesty is essential. You have to be honest about everything. And when your partner asks you a question, you can't say, can we just move on, or can you forget it? No, they can't. And you shouldn't either, because it's in the forgetting that you are triggered and you go and do the same behavior again. And we want to help you stop that. That means you're honest about everything. The more honest you are, the more you will see how deluded you were, how addicted you were, that you would have jeopardized the most important thing in your life, your marriage, your family, for this affair. And that's important in being able to process it and recreate something better in the future. Number 3, trust has to be rebuilt. And you rebuild trust by trusting your partner with little things. When you can trust what time they'll be there, who they're going to pick up, who they're going to be with, what they said is what they did. The smaller the tasks, the more you trust those, the more you can trust the big things. If your partner isn't reliable on the little things, they forget their phone or they just don't get back with you, then it will be impossible to establish trust in the big things. Fidelity. Can I trust you with my intimacy? Can I trust you to be my partner and have my back and not be with another person when you're not with me? The next one, underlying issues have to be addressed. We know that couples who have affairs have other issues. They have hurt, they have resentment, they have anger, things within the marriage where they never felt good, poor communication style, whatever it is. Now, although that is not an excuse to run to another person, it is an excuse to go to therapy. You need therapy, you need to dig into this, and you need to resolve it. Anything that you've swept under the rug, now the rug has to be lifted, and it's time to confront it and resolve it so it doesn't get in your way in the future. And next, together, you have to start over. You have to realize that when someone betrays you, you don't really know that person. You don't know what desperation looks like for them. You don't know how weak that side of their character is. And until you realize that, it's impossible to build good boundaries, to build good communication, so you can have a plan implemented that you'll know when you're feeling triggered or you're feeling anxious. Instead of running to a third party, you're going to run to and embrace each other. You can absolutely recreate a marriage you both love, but you cannot do it by yourself. You need your partner to help you. If this video has been helpful to you and added value to your understanding of a relationship and what can happen, then I ask you to subscribe. And once again, I thank all of you subscribers. You guys are the motivation for me getting up, getting on with these things, and answering questions so that I can help you create a relationship you love being part of.